Oh, yeah. What's going on, guys? What is happening? Yep. All right. So, this topic of discussion, just thought about because you got so many people asking about it. Why not do a live stream talking about this very subject? So, that's what I decided to talk about, to do. So, there you go. That's what we're doing. A little unprepared, but I tried to be on time this time. So, yeah. What is go what? Okay. Alright. Just waiting for people to join. What's going on? Brady Kelly, what's up, man? How you doing? How's your Friday? He calls himself the soldier of God. Does his religion make him a better fighter? Probably not. I have no idea. Bros, well, good for him, man. You're wrong, it does. All right. I guess that's what it is. This stuff is fantastic. I know I usually talk like at the beginning of these things before everybody else gets on, just explaining why the topic is the way it is. But oh, I almost made today an AMA because I was like, oh, what's this topic going to be on? But religion versus spirituality. What's the difference? Why is there a difference? Why should there be a difference? Are there benefits? Is it destructive? I made a couple videos talking about it, but I just wanted to have a live stream chat about it. Okay, guy. It's been fun. Yeah, why not? Nine people watching. All right, guys, let's get some discussion going. Konnichiwa. What's going on, Pedro? Glad you're here, man. Well, for the people who are listening to this and not necessarily watching it, I just want to say that I view a massive difference between the two, between religion and spirituality. And I think that I don't see any benefit to just strictly religion. I really don't. I think religion is toxic, it's poisonous, it's dangerous, and it's done more harm than good. But I do think spirituality has crossed into that and out of that, and typically the people who experience spirituality end up leaving some sort of religion, whatever religion they're a part of. And so I think that there's benefits to spirituality because of freedom, freedom from the chains of religion. But what does that look like? What does it look like to leave religion and just be spiritual? Or what does spirituality even look like? Like, what does that even mean? So these are all things that we can discuss. So God bless, brothers and sisters. Boy, isn't religion used to control people? I mean, I would say so. I would say religion used to control people. Not, I don't know if intentionally. I think that people have created religion to control people, and that's because they want to. I mean, everybody wants to have like a specific way of thinking. They want to make everything into a nice little box of this is what this looks like, and this is how it's going to look. And if it looks any other way, then you can't be in this box. That's basically what religion is, but spirituality is completely raw and real and without boundaries and without a box, and some people don't like that. Some people label that demonic or heresy or whatever. And that's not to say that in spirituality truth doesn't exist. I still think truth is a thing. But yeah, I think spirituality is meant to free people from themselves. Now, again, what does spirituality look like? You know, that's maybe it's subjective. Maybe it's subjective. I don't know. Let's talk. Hello, howdy do, late Halloween Nate. Yeah, man. Halloweener. Connection issue connection issues soon as the chat starts. Dang, that blows. Laura! Oh my god, you're here. Welcome. How long has it been? It's literally been like a month. Really glad you're here. Uh Angler. Hi. How's it going? Do you think it's toxic? Do I think religion is toxic? Yeah, I do think it's toxic. Toxic. Man, let's see if I can speak tonight. I do think it's toxic. I do think that religion is a poison that spreads. And I say that because, to poison something, it's not to start, okay, like a human body that's not poisoned, right? The human body was fine until it was poisoned. And then once poisoned, the poison can spread and kill the person, right? And so I think it's the same way with religion. I think however the human being was made without religion should grow and become more of that human being, more of who you are. But religion is a poison that sets in that says, hey, who you are can only look like this and nothing else. And I think that's really destructive. Amanda, how's it going? I think without a basis for what you believe in spirituality is more of an idea than a lifestyle or life change than following a religion. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that. Basis for what you believe in spirituality is more of an idea than a lifestyle or life change than following a. I don't. Well, okay. I don't think spirituality is an idea, and I mean, if spirituality is an idea, then I think religion is just complete. There's nothing. Like if spirituality is an idea, religion is a lie, and that might be the case. But I do think spirituality. Now, okay, wait. My brain is trying to work today. Give me a second. So yeah, more of an idea than a lifestyle. I think it's actually a lifestyle and a life change. I don't think religion. I think religion is a lifestyle and a life change as well, but it's in the wrong direction. That's my opinion. I agree that it's toxic. I've been so much happier since I stopped pretending. Yes, I can attest to that 100%. Shells, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Missed you the other week. What's up, bro? What's up, y'all? What's going on? Galactic the Goat 317. Oh, yeah, Galactic the Goat. All right, that's awesome. Softy, yo, what's going on? Shaler, man, good to see you here. What's up, Nate? It's been a couple of weeks since I caught a live. I know. Glad you're here, though, man. It's the earliest you've been live, I think. Well, yeah. I mean, I typically try to start at 6, but it usually always being like 6:30, and I'm pushing myself more and more to start at 6 because I need to. I'm ready for good times. The last week has sucked. Well, you're here, so it's about to get deep, and it's about to be some good times. So, yeah. But Amanda, yeah, I definitely think spirituality is a lifestyle. But what does that lifestyle look like? And I think that the term spiritual needs to be defined. I do know that there is a massive difference, a huge difference between religion and spirituality, just because I'm so I can tell you what religion is, and I can tell you what religion has done specific for me, specifically, like the ways that it has harmed me in the ways that I've explored spirituality. And to me, that's looked like specifically meditation, specifically Um, Getting in touch with, I mean, it sounds really new agey, but just kind of experimenting with that sort of thing. And I've noticed that I've been freer in my mind, in my even like my physicality, like my breathing and things have like physically opened up. And some people think spirituality would equate spirituality to just philosophy. I don't really think that. I think those are two different things as well. Um, but I but yeah, and you could define spiritual as supernatural, as God. I know that some people don't define spirituality in that way. So it takes how do we define spirituality? What does that mean? Wait, you're on Eastern time. Yes, I am. I live on the East Coast of the United States. Would you say religion is just rules? Uh yeah, not yes and no. Religion being just rules, I would say yes, but I'd say it doesn't necessarily look that way. Religion can, like, truth can be disguised, and if truth is, and so I think that religion um, twists truth and uses it to manipulate more than uses it to actually free people. And so I know that that's more like a dictatorship kind of deal. And I think that rules, laws. It's like it's rules, but it's also saying this is the way that you have to live, and this is the way that it looks like. And I don't necessarily think that. I think that a lot of it's up to interpretation, honestly. My other great aunt died. This what? Oh my gosh, really sorry to hear that, Shells. That's a bummer. Mm, really sorry about that. Um, Thoughts go out to you and your family for real. Pagan witch. Greetings, greetings, pagan. Some Christians say that meditation is satanic. It's not. Oh my gosh, I hate those arguments. Those are the worst arguments. Like they just fall apart. They're terrible. As someone who meditates every single day, yeah, no, it's not satanic at all. But don't people in the Bible practice meditation? Yes, people in the Bible practice meditation. What you could argue even Jesus practiced meditation, and it yeah that bugs me so much when I hear Christians say that it's satanic or demonic or dark or whatever. It's not. It really isn't. In the deeper places of spirituality where they would hallucinate, go to other places, project, astral project, out of body experiences, traveling in the spirit, whatever, all of that. That was all done by meditation, and they learned meditation from Eastern religions, and then they applied it to Christianity. Religion is man-made. Couldn't agree more. Mercury is in retrograde, though. The Sun Scorpion. Huh. Interesting, Jess. How does it feel to have life? What do you mean? What do you mean, how does it feel to have life? Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No. Oh, all right. Now, I know that verse. So what are you saying by that? The only truth, without him, you'll be deceived. See that verse? I made a whole video about that verse. It's debatable what Jesus was saying in that verse because people have interpreted it in different ways. Religion is a house, spirituality is a chair. No, I don't think that at all. I think religion is a house that is locked and you're locked inside, and spirituality is the key that gets you out. That's what I think. To be honest, I haven't studied much on the definition of spirituality. What do you mean by spirituality when you talk about it? I mean spirituality in the way that basically freeing yourself from uh, any thought pattern that says that you cannot. Any thought pattern that basically downgrades you and says that you can't. I think spirituality says that you can, in many, many, many ways. I mean, there's a whole host of other things in that, but I think spirituality, you know, I think exploring spirituality looks like exploring consciousness and quantum consciousness, and as well as practicing meditation, practicing lucid dreaming, um, which that kind of thing has been meditate. The benefits of meditation and lucid dreaming have been scientifically proven and scientifically tested. And so, some people would say, well, that's not spiritual, that's just science. But the reality is that that argument is it's always going to be a thing. Like if people were to actually figure out some sort of radiation that is in every single living thing, like string theory. Like people look at string theory and they're like, well, that's the spirit, that's science of the spiritual realm. It's like, we've so okay, say that is the case, then we've found it in science, and now what? It's just science. I don't know though. Do you believe in free will? Absolutely. Religion is believing in someone else's experience, and yeah, completely agree with that. Spirituality is having your own experience. Completely agree. Man, this light is ridiculous right now. There we go. Nope, that's a whole lot better. Oh wow. That's exactly what I was going to say. The whole of Psalms is telling you to meditate on God. Yeah. Some Christians argue themselves into a corner. It's true. There's a lot of circular arguing, circular reasoning, especially with the Bible. I just, on one of my videos, some guy commented, yes, God is real. And he said, the Bible says so. And I'm like, dude, that is the worst. Like if there is a list of arguments for God, which there is, but from best to worst, which I don't think there's a best, that one is at the bottom. God is real because the Bible says so. Like it doesn't get any more circular than that. I'm a Christian myself, I'm saying. God probably isn't. Why would Jesus meditate if he is God? Why would Jesus meditate if he is God? Well, say Jesus is the Son of God. He was a human on earth. And so obviously he felt separated. He said, why have you forsaken me? Some people say that was a prophecy out of Psalms 22. But I think, maybe that was the case, but I also think that he felt that separation. So if he felt exactly what we feel, which Hebrews says that every temptation that we felt, everything that we felt, Jesus also felt. And so Jesus can sympathize with us. Then I think that, since I think we need to meditate, I think meditation is necessary, especially for today's society and this generation. Why wouldn't Jesus? That's just my thought. Why wouldn't Jesus want to or need to get closer to God, or however you want to put it? Would you agree with how your dad and many other Christians say that the big difference is with religion versus relationship? And also, I think meditation is awesome and not satanic. Religion and relationship, I think, is like, honestly, I think that is turned into a cheesy saying, religion versus relationship, so much so that relationship and how it looks has turned into religion. Because so many people say that, well, it's not a religion, it's a relationship. Where, in a truly spiritual way, if you can have relationship with God, then that is a truly spiritual experience. But I think that people have just used that as kind of a trump card, that it's like, well, religion versus relationship. I'm not religious, I'm in a relationship. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good, but are you? Do you know what that means? Um, so yeah, I don't think too many people can say that and sincerely mean that they actually have a relationship with God. Um, because that's some strong those are some strong things to say, that you have a relationship with God. And it's like so many people just chalk that up to, oh yeah, it's nothing. I have a relationship with God. I'm like, I don't know, if God's real and you had a relationship with him, I think it'd be a lot more serious than what you're making it out to be. Like the God of the universe that you're saying created everything, you have a personal relationship with him. Like that's not something you just like throw around like, oh yeah. Like I think that there's responsibility in that and responsibility behind that. But I think that people have just mixed in that with religion. And so Christianity, if true Christianity is a thing, then I think that, oh, it says my connection is unstable. Okay, now it's not. If true, Christianity is a thing, I think it is relationship, but I think you got to be a lot more spiritual about it. And again, what does that look like? Thoughts on Kanye's album? Oh, I got a lot of them. I could go off. I could go off. You know what? I'm probably going to make a separate YouTube video going off about that, because I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Projects or contracts right now, however you need to favor. Uh, have you had any experiences with the law of attraction, like being able to manifest something into your life? All right. Speaking as somebody who is a very positive thinker, very, very positive thinker, but also deals with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and that manifests itself through my body a lot. I have a hard time with the law of attraction because I've always been a fighter. I've always fought through. I've always, been able to, um, like when I was having severe panic attacks and I thought I was going to die every single night. Like I made it through that, through loving myself and encouragement and being able to relax. All this, I've done that most of my life, um, and yet I still have Lyme disease. And I'm like, if I have thought positively my whole life, how would I attract this? Why would these things happen to me? I have a really hard time with that. And maybe that's because I need to do more research on it. But every time I think about the law of attraction, I ask myself, I'm like, so why did, the universe decide to, oh yeah, you get Lyme disease? I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense to me, but have you heard of the New Age movement? Yes, I have. I don't know a whole much about him and stuff, but the song's good. Who made the pyramids? And there's a debate there. Um, I think religion holds people back from their true potential. Very true. Do you believe in curses? I believe in the power of words. Let me say that. And I think that your belief is what holds a curse. I think that your belief, like if somebody calls you, a loser and you believe them, then yeah, I mean, essentially you're putting a curse over yourself and you're going to act like a loser. Um, you know, eh, I mean, words have power. There's no fighting that. And I'm not talking about power like when I speak something crazy happens in a different realm, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. but I do know that words have power because of how much people are affected by them. And so if you choose to believe what somebody says about you, then words, when spoken, can be both a blessing and a curse. And so that's why I think people need to be super careful with their words, and especially in today's society and just how things are. It's like, you got a lot of people that talk smack on the keyboard, but they'll never say it to your face. But yet, like, like when you read comments online, when you read that kind of thing, like, it still affects you. When you put up a Facebook status and somebody makes fun of you, or Instagram, it doesn't matter. Like, social media crap, like, that stuff affects you as much as you don't want it to. You are affected by it. And so, like, just give out what you want, what you would want to get. And so it's not that I, believe in curses. If you want to call it that, I think that the people who actually believe it will put a curse over themselves. But if you, if you choose not to believe it, um, and you choose, well, not necessarily not to believe it, but if you choose to act differently and think differently, and you know who you are, then I think that you can break that curse. And I mean, I I've so like when I was, Christian, I did a lot of inner healing. So much so that I would like start doing it on other people too that needed my help or whatever. And really those breaking of the curse prayers, a lot of them have to do with self-forgiveness and self-love. And so, and it's because those curses had power over me because I believed them. I believed the words that people said. I believed, lies, really. And so, always speak truth, right? Always speak truth. And that way, it's not it's not necessarily a curse if you're speaking the truth, but always speak the truth in love. But do I believe in curses? So yes, no. I mean, I guess the definition or what people envision when I say curses is more of a spiritual thing, but I don't necessarily think it's a spiritual thing. I think it's actually more of an emotional thing. Why would anyone call something that is healthy for the body and mental state, yoga, bad? Yeah, you got me. I don't have any idea. Instead of believing in one thing, religion, why not be open to the possibility of everything instead of following one path? It seems like the only logical thing to do, essentially, when there's no proof. If you believe in string theory, you can't believe in free will. That's not true. Because everything that is going to happen has already happened, and it just happens over and over again. That's I don't know where you're getting that information from. From what I've researched in science of the mind and consciousness and string theory, that's not the case. I'm a compatibilist, and so I do believe through the research that I've found that the things of science and nature are determined, and will keep happening time and time again. But I also believe through the research that I've done that through neuroplasticity and the things of the mind that we are capable of, and this new science that is coming out, we have the power in our mind to shift and shape our neurotransmitters in our head to create new neural pathways, and we can actually decide. We are more existential than what we think. We are not determined. Science says that we are, but we actually have the power of thought, that says that we can do otherwise. So that's from the research that I've found. That's the gist of it. Oh man, I am so behind. I'm gonna skip some of your questions. So The earth is flat. Oh boy. If people would worry about their own spirituality rather than condemning everyone who follows a different spiritual path, imagine how they would grow. That's true. Nate, I wonder if because of your health issues that it actually hinders your ability to manifest through the law of attraction. Maybe because your body is in dis-ease. That might be the case, and I've often thought about that. I've been practicing lucid dreaming for like 8 months, and I've had like a handful of lucid dreams, but typically it takes like a person that practices as much as I do, like 3 months to like be able to have lucid dreams consistently. I still don't have them consistently. It's like my sleep is just off, and I'm like, but I'm not giving up, so there's that too. That people say it without meaning frequency. Okay. um, Gospel rapper, all right. New age movement is deception from the devil. There's a spiritual battle between. Okay, I don't know about that though. Like I don't agree with that. I don't even know if there's a battle going on between good and evil. Like I think there's a battle going on between ourselves and whatever else is out there probably. But good and evil, like if you believe in the Bible, then the Bible clearly states that Jesus won the victory on the cross. So any other thing is what you believe in your mind. There's nothing going on that's good and evil. The evil only has power if your mind, if you give it to it in your mind, if you create it with your mind, really. Um, but yeah, that gets on a different subject. I think in general, sometimes the law of attraction does work. Well, okay. I mean, the law of attraction essentially reap what you sow, right? So, there's some truth to that. Oh, Nate's changed. He has a 7-part series on love. It's incredible. And the videos are like maybe, yeah. Yes, I do. Why do you think that there is so much Christian persecution going on right now? Look what's happened in Toronto, Canada lately. I haven't seen what's happening there lately, but I do think that Christians, like as much as people don't want to admit it, because all you see is the other side of things where Christians are bashing people. You don't see the areas where actually Christians are being bashed. And I just think both sides, it's just stupid. Like everybody get along for real. Words do have power. Go watch the experiments. Yeah, I'm not. Words have power. Absolutely. Uh, what do you define as the line between a medicinal practice being pseudoscience and being a legitimate ailment towards its receiver, formally recognized or not? Oh man, I really don't even understand that question. What do you define as the line between a medical practice being pseudoscience, okay, yeah, and being a legitimate ailment towards its receiver? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm confused by the question, so maybe word it differently. I was thrown into it. Dreams, things, moving on towards issue. Curses are very real as witchcraft for sure. Ascension descends in oneself. Okay. Yes, real. And so if somebody tells you you won't leave your home, it's true. Yeah. Um, what? How does he know so much? Thought? Can Nard what? I don't even know who that is, bro. What are your thoughts on reincarnation? Reincarnation, the logic of it, when I look at the model, I guess, of heaven and hell, right? It doesn't make as much sense as reincarnation does, logically speaking, and what reincarnation is. And I've been learning more about reincarnation by reading Robert Monroe's books on out of body experiences. And I had no idea what it actually meant, that it wasn't this, people are reincarnated. If they live a bad life, they come back as a worm or something, it's not that at all. And I think the logic behind reincarnation, the logic behind reincarnation, in the sense that how Robert Monroe says that it is, that you know you live this amount of lives until you actually learn the lessons you need to learn, and then you move on. That makes sense to me. But reincarnation, that is such like over and over, like souls are being recycled. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It and but the heaven and hell thing, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. Like the most logical way of thinking about the afterlife and the purpose of an afterlife is kind of that model of reincarnation. I don't know if that's what I think or what, but I'm just like logically looking at it, like what actually makes the most sense here. So, De Silva. All right. Thoughts on spirits, ghosts, real or not? Um, if not, what do you think is an explanation of the paranormal? I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. Um, has anybody, like fear is a obviously terrifying and glorious thing. Just like I was saying with words, your beliefs can have so much power over you. So, I have no idea what people have or have not experienced, with said paranormal stuff, especially with like haunted houses and stuff. I have no idea, but I do know that if you go into those places expecting to hear something, or like if you're told that a ghost is in there and you're told that you'll hear voices, you're told that this will happen or that will happen, like, well, then you'll probably hear it. You're like, you can build up so much stuff to a point that, like it'll be absolutely real. Is it? I don't I don't know. That's kind of like asking me about the spiritual realm. It's like, do I believe in it? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I do know that there are other realms from science that we can't see. Time is a dimension that we can't see. So there is scientific evidence for other dimensions that we cannot see. Even when talking about quantum consciousness, there are other dimensions that we cannot see. So is that the supernatural? I don't know. Is that where ghosts, spirits, things like that come from? I don't know. But I do know that they are. If you don't believe that they're real, then they won't be real. But if you believe that they're real, even if they're not real, I think they'll still become real to you. Oh man, I'm way, way behind. Answers is where you draw the line with addiction. I don't believe in curses, not saying they don't exist. Sup? What's going on, Paige? I'm just here reading until I feel like I can actually add something to the conversation. Cool. She used to be a doctor. That's pretty crazy. And I've heard of other people talking about their past lives like that, or a lot of people that have experienced near death experience, like the indie, what's it called? It's like NDE.com. I don't know, something. It's like two people that just decided, hey, we're going to collect a whole bunch of near death experiences from all over the world. And I haven't read too much, but I watched a video about it, and a majority of them that have been read and reviewed have all seen or recalled some sort of past life experience. I don't know what that's about. Reincarnation. Sorry, guys. I'm not dying this time, but I could see how a soul would pick a specific mother, father, and birth sign so that specific lessons could be learned. Yo, fam, I'm here. Huh. Thomas, what's going on? I had a paranormal experience at an old job I had that I had no idea how to freaking explain it. Freaked me out. Yeah, I've had some of those experiences as well. Well, experiences. I can't if I can't explain it, I just discredit. I'm like, nope. That's me personally, because I want to believe something that's absolutely true. I'm not going to go off of I'm not going to develop a belief in something off of an experience I had to where I'm like, I literally have no idea what to do with that. Like that could have been something else. If I experience something, I want to know within me and within everything that I've looked into and studied. Like there is no other explanation. Look them up sometime. Huh. All right. We'll do. What if they are real and you don't believe? That doesn't make them any less real. 100%. Totally agree. Just be something real or not real. But I do think that your experience of something can be real or not real depending on what you have convinced yourself to believe, if that makes sense. Like, okay, so here's reality, right? The real truth, whether God exists, all that. It's over here. And then here is what you actually believe. And so like whether you experience this side of things or not, who knows? But on this side of things, what you believe, this is kind of like the gateway to this. Because if you don't believe it, then you're not going to experience it. And if, well, that's not, that's debatable. I get that. So before anybody says anything, I get that. But if you believe it, then you're going to a point, you're going to experience something. You're going to look for those things. It's going to be confirmation bias, right? The placebo effect. But if you don't believe it, chances are you won't. So, uh, do you think some traits are real? Do you think some traits or maybe even memories are passed through DNA? Yes and no. You hear stories of family members separated at birth, and when they meet as adults, they have the same mannerisms, same likes and dislikes. And yeah, totally. I think that's the case. I think it's possible to for all that to happen because it's true. So I think something is handed down in DNA. How do you think she had those memories from her past life? How do you think they were passed on? Yeah. I got a question that usually draws a lot of controversy. What do you think about twin flame concepts? Yo, I literally don't even know what that is. I'm gonna Google that right now. Twin flame concept. I've never heard this before. Oh, I don't know. Are you talking about soulmates there? I don't know. That's kind of a weird concept. I'm not at that. I'm not on that level to discuss those things based on what I think is real or not real, what I believe. Is if Jesus ate a wild mushroom, what if every religion is just a guy who took drugs? There's a thought. Who knows? Um, I don't know. Probably not the case. But hey, that's a thought. Do I think astral projection is real? I'm reading these books on astral projection right now, and from what I am reading, I know that there's something. I mean, Robert Monroe talks about these scientific experiments that he has done in a lab, and there's been crazy things that have come out of it. So I'm like, well, that's something. I don't know what that is, but I think there's something to it. I do think that the logic of it makes sense. Even the science of it. I mean, the science also with dreaming, it makes sense. So yeah, yes, um, yes, but I'm like, where would I say I'm at? I'm like 75% on the line of like, yes, astral projection and out of body experiences is real. And 25% of me, I'm like, I'm not totally convinced yet. Like, I'm not at the point of saying, yeah, absolutely, it's real. Yes, on the astral projection, scientists have proved that when you astral project, you lose a small amount of weight. They ain't sure how yet, though. Thomas, if you could send me a link to that article, that science, where you learned that, where you got the science of that, I would be very, very interested in reading more about that. Oh yeah, you totally did mention a twin concept to me yesterday when I was telling you about how I looked in it. Yeah, you totally did. Yeah. So I did hear about it before. I did hear about I think that was the first time I heard about it though. When you messaged me saying that. That was the first time I'd ever heard about it. And I didn't really bother asking you, "Wait, what is that?" Because I think I kind of thought I got the gist of it, but now, like, I know what it is, so I had an astral projection on LSD. Now see, that right there, Mystic Dreamer, that is the reason why I still question it. Because of people like you. And I'm not saying anything bad about you, like, if you actually had an astral projection, cool, man, awesome. But I'm like, I think the legitimacy of whether astral projection is real or not, I think it needs to be done in a natural state of mind, in a sober state of mind. If it's real and LSD and drugs are ways to get there, then cool. But for me to be, convinced of it, I would need some a personal experience of it or like a scientific reasoning as to like, yes, this is the case. This person was sober minded, and we saw a drop in consciousness or a drop in this or whatever, just like that weight thing. So yeah, I'm very interested in that still, Thomas. Glad to be back in somehow normal time and space for a change. I thought people are quick to dismiss concepts that don't particularly resonate with their current experience. If he was in the love of God life relationship, he would for sure be more open to the idea. Hmm. Yeah, and that was while I was at work, crazy busy, so I wasn't looking for anything to happen. My twin flame confirmed to me that we communicate using telepathy. What? Have you listened to Tom McDonald? I know Tom McDonald. I haven't listened to him. No. The movie Doctor Strange made astral projection popular. I never heard of it before. I didn't even know that that's what Doctor Strange was doing until like a year or two later. I don't think he's what made it popular though. It was popular before that. I guess he's what made it like mainstream. Yes, open-minded people are so hard to find. That is very true. Telepathy works, but only at one brain cell of distance. That's not entirely true, Paige, because if you study quantum entanglement, in our memories and our thoughts are energy, then they can move across the universe in a split second, faster than the speed of light. And like actually no time dilation at all whatsoever. So if if telepathy and like prayer and things like that are, you know, evidence of something, then quantum entanglement has something to do with that. I think I'm very uneducated because I haven't watched Doctor Strange, and I've heard of that astral, and I haven't of that astral thing either. Haven't. Yeah. I don't think you're uneducated. It's just, look it up. It's really easy to find. I don't know what astral projections are. They're basically your consciousness, your soul, spirit, whatever you want to say. You leave your body. It's essentially an out of body experiences. An out of body experience. That's exactly what it is. It's your consciousness. You are being phased out into a different realm, into a different place. People who have experienced astral projection, apparently we have some with us, can attest that it feels even more real than this reality right here. And so, then you can, there's in the astral realm, you don't need to communicate with words. You communicate with thoughts. You can do whatever you like. There's people like Robert Monroe that have been in the astral realm that have watched people in places witness things happening. And then, he comes back into his body and finds out that that's exactly what he saw. That's exactly what happened. And so it's basically out of body experience. You're projecting your consciousness into another realm. Astral, because we're made up of the same things that are made up of the entire universe, including stars. So that's where you get the whole star seeds thing from, that we're star seeds. And we project our consciousness into other dimensions. How would you yeah, if you have to be on drugs to access the world, how would you ever know that it's real? My point exactly. Who knows? So in order for you to be considered telepathy, does it have to be audible, or could you consciously speak to someone in your mind and through maybe intuition they're able to pick it up exactly? I think if telepathy is a thing, I don't think it would be communicated in the English language. I think it would be a concept like that that would make more sense, to me at least. So maybe that answers your question of what I think. Some of us were forced into astral projection so we could see certain things and know certain things for certain reasons. How were you forced into it? That's an interesting thought. Have you ever tried LSD? I have not. I was just saying, if you were experiencing the love of your life, the twin flame concept might be something that caught your attention more. No, yeah, you're totally right in that. Not confused. Spiritual sense, not to be confused with the fight. Yeah. Well, shoot, gotta scoot. Love these kind of conversations. Take care, folks. Peace. All right, Pagan Witch. Peace out. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Personally, I tried to do it astral projection several times. I even used binaural beats to help. Binaural beats are legit. That was discovered by Robert Monroe, and I've learned so much out of the Robert Monroe books about binaural beats and how the brain works. It's fascinating. I've researched something that, but when it fades away quickly, hoping to research it someday. Yeah, I haven't had an experience like that either, but that's what I want. And I feel like it's going to take an experience like that for me to come into any belief about anything, honestly. Simba, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here. They're both the belief of something without real evidence. It's more about feeling and out of body experiences. Religion, you don't got to have any experience at all. Religion is just a philosophy that makes sense to people, and they put God in a box of their ideas and how they think love works. Spirituality is without all that, and spirituality opens you up to a whole new world in your thought and freedom from thinking the way that you can think and explore the things that you want to explore. I think religion just binds people like completely and totally. I think spirituality allows people to be a lot more free. So that's what I think. But yes, audible words and distinct voices preventing me from failing. I'm about to break, then break through and resolve kicks in. I'm buffering bad, so I'm going to head out, y'all. See y'all next week. Ah, shells. All right, shells. Dang, that sucks. All right. See you next week. Peace out. Would you say most of the population doesn't think about topics like this? Yeah. Yeah. Which is why, I mean, it's just taken a long time to build this YouTube channel, but it is building slowly but surely. But yeah, not a lot of people like to talk like this, but this is my life. This is how I think. This is my surface level conversation. Why do oh my God, I remember you telling me that joke. That's fantastic. Eric, what's going on, man? Glad you're here. Is astral projection dangerous? No, nobody's died from it, if that's what you mean. Do you risk something while doing it? It's you overcoming fear. You can't do it if you're scared. And I've been there. I've felt all of the sensations I'm supposed to feel right before I leave my body, and I couldn't do it. It's a scary thing. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, Jared. Sports broadcasting. I feel that in a religious system, your own spiritual state can be clouded by a collective set of ideas. Totally 100% agree with that. You kind of need religion at first. I don't think so at all. I think to be introduced to spirituality, nah. I don't think it has to be that way. I think that's how history has done it. But I don't think it needs to be that way at all. If your mind is so restricted when you're bounded by religion, what is the point? What's the point of what? Religion? Yeah. What is the point? I don't know. I don't know if you know what a materialist is in terms of philosophy. I do, but that's what I am. A materialist. I believe that here is here and not anything like karma or spiritual forces doing things. So I'm actually not a materialist. I forget what the opposing philosophies were when I was researching that, but I do know that I'm not a materialist. But that explains why you think that way. So, yeah. I'm not scared. I'm just saying I'm not going to do something if I'm going to risk something hurtful. You say that now. But yeah. Yeah, I got you. Like, I was the same way at first. I ain't scared of this. But then, I mean, you're basically, so if astral projection is a thing, that's where you go. That's what happens when you die. So basically, you're experiencing some sort of death. It can be a scary thing. But yeah. Nate, I've come to find out that in the Bible, based of just analyzing people that are called. I've come to find out that in the Bible, based on just analyzing people that are called religious in the Bible, are described to the people who accuse people of doing things they can't do themselves. Yeah. So you're yeah. I'm tracking with you. I'm right there with you. So basically saying that they're called religious in a negative way. That's what you're saying. I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying. If that is what you're saying, I agree with you. Sometimes when people know they're about to die, they shout out, "Oh God," even atheists. Well, then they probably weren't true atheists. They were probably agnostics all along and just, that's what I think. Most people aren't born without a religion, so anyone before knowing anything about spirituality, people learn. Yeah, no, that's true. That's what I meant. Yeah, I agree with that. Sure. Wow, didn't think you would know what materialist is and other philosophical terms I see you know your stuff. I learned many philosophical when I was in college, philosophy class. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, when starting this YouTube channel, like basically for a year straight, it was just me, like, like just in philosophy, watching every video, reading about it and all these different philosophies constantly. And so, yeah, I'm aware of a lot of these philosophical concepts and ideas and the differences between the two and all that. So I'm not like, I didn't go to school for it. I'm just self-taught. But I am aware of all this stuff that's going on. So a religious person could be described as a hypocrite. Yeah, that's why there's this new like definition: goodbye religion, follow faith kind of movement, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Totally, I'd say it's more like abandon church and follow religion. Like the intuition is the one that gets the dirty looks now. Where's my? All right. I would say it's more like abandon church and follow religion. Like the institution is the one that gets the dirty looks now. Yeah. See, most people, I think I agree with you, Paige. But most people, church and religion are almost the same thing, pretty similar. Um, Self-taught is a lot better than getting teach. That's the story of my life, 100%. Yo, guys, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take my medication. And so talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Oh man, 15 people still stayed. That's what's up. I totally thought I was gonna come back and people were gonna be gone. I don't know if I should. What do you think of the? Oh man, we got some good questions up here. The "I believe my own way" is also getting a lot more popular. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the way it should be, but I don't know. I might change my mind about that. Increasingly more acceptable to stop going to church. Yeah. What do you think of the proliferation of sexual labels? Does it stem from lack of religion? I don't know. That's a great question, though. Why does everybody want to be unique? Because everybody is unique. Everybody wants to be themselves, but everybody's too afraid to. I don't actually believe that everyone wants to be unique. Interesting. I mean, look around. We live in a world where there are more carbon copies of the latest trend than there are actual individuals. Yeah, but this is also the reason why everybody hates themselves, Jess. I think everybody does want to be who they are, and I think everybody is really unique in their own way. But they're too afraid to be who they are because they're afraid that nobody will like who they are. Because like they haven't been themselves because they're too afraid to see if people will like them or not. And newsflash, the people who are completely themselves, people usually love them. Everything you need on the internet is true. Abraham Lincoln. Totally. He took a bottle with him. What type of medication is he on? It is herbal medication for chronic Lyme disease. Jess, that's a fantastic game. Stupid tick. That's for real. Today I found 4 spiders in my bed. Yo, I lived that life once. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hagar. I don't think I've tried to pronounce your first name yet. But I'm glad you're a part of this chat. I don't know if you changed your icon to your profile, but glad you're here. You ever tried pot? No, I have not. That rhymed. Yo, that's what's up. There's an owl outside of my house hooting. I like that noise. Yeah, nobody else is hearing that. Love that. You guys believe in the past life stuff or reincarnation? We already kind of went over this. But man, that owl is going to town. I love it. Um, yeah, I think the logic of reincarnation makes a lot of sense. I've just had pizza. Why not? Jealous. Well, maybe it's just me, but I have never found accomplishing a want or setting out to achieve. Uh, I want so if they truly want to be unique, and then hopefully they won't allow their fears to stop. This is true. If you do, you can try past life hypnosis. If you haven't, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Man, guys, I'm freaking out about this L. I've just had pizza, Laura. I am jealous. Very, very jealous. I have not had pizza in a very long time. And oh, I'm jealous of you too, Eric, because you're getting pizza and Laura just ate pizza. Man, I need some pizza. Guys, this owl is awesome. This is one of my favorite sounds in the whole world. Bro, I'm watching you from London. I came here by accident. Very fascinating topics. That's dope. I'm glad that you were able to watch from London. It's like pretty late there, right? It's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 1:15 a.m., something like that. We'll come back for more sessions. Hagar, please come back for more. Fear usually makes me stronger. I think that's the same with others. Fear pushes to accomplish something. Leave a like, guys. Yeah, for real. Please leave a like. That'd be dope. 11:15? Are you serious? Oh, it's only 5. I keep forgetting. I'm on because when I used to live in California, that's when I took the most trips to London or the UK, and so that's an 8-hour difference. But here on the East Coast, it's only 5. Okay. 2 a.m. Man, that's awesome. I love that some of you guys stay up so late to watch this live. That's awesome. Clocks went the clocks went forward over here. Yeah, that's right. I think it's interesting how someone can be an atheist but still spiritual, because the main reason I stopped believing in Jesus and God and such is because I don't believe in supernatural, like a man walking on water is, or in spirituality, like if good or spiritual force like karma will do street justice. Like, come on, justice too far fetched for me. And you need to have faith and belief in both, because there's no way to prove karma, just like can't prove the spirit of God. Hence, making me only a materialist, but an atheist as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, all legitimate points, and I mean that's pretty much where I sit, but I'm not satisfied with it. And I don't know if one day I will be satisfied with it, but I'm not a materialist. I can't, man. I'm about to look it up what the opposing philosophies are to materialism, but I know I'm not a materialist. But um, let's see. Well, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I'm pretty much where you sit, but I'm not like satisfied with it, because I don't know that that is 100% truth. I mean, I do think it is truth, but I had to even that I had to figure out. Like, I'm glad I'm settled on that, because like settled on that it's truth, not that it's the whole truth. Because when I had my mental breakdown, I legit was at a Rene Descartes place. Like, coming to that conclusion of I think therefore I am. Reading his book Discourse on the Method really helped me through that mental breakdown. Like, no BS. That was, and so, yeah. So figuring out that I'm real, this world's real, my thoughts are real, my doubts are real, all that grounded me. And I think that way of thinking grounds people. But is that all there is? I don't know. Iraq. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us, Neon Shine. I know you've been in the chat for a while, but I forgot to say hi and thank you for joining. So, as you read my comment, I actually realized Nate, You ever notice fear usually stops small decisions? Yes. And big decisions are usually driven by fear. That's a very interesting observation. I think yeah. Uh, I think it can go both ways. But I mean typically I think it does go that way. But I think I don't know. For me, I would agree with the first one. Fear usually stops small decisions, but fear usually driving big decisions. That's not me. I usually don't even do the big decisions, those big decisions, if they're driven by fear. I'll only do them if they're driven by me wanting to do that. Hey, I just joined. Can you recap what this chat is about? Literally about spirituality and religion, the difference between the two. What's it about? What do you believe? What do you think is the difference? What do you think is spirituality? What do you think is religion? That sort of thing. Jealous. I want to hear the owl. It's still hooting outside my window. Love it. Alcohol, good or bad or neutral? Good. Great. Alcohol is fantastic. What do you think are the ramifications of bad things we do in this life without getting caught? If there's no afterlife, where's the judgment? I think you're, I think that's the judgment right there. I don't think I don't know. I really like the philosophy or the way of thinking that we won't be punished for sin, but sin is the punishment. I mean, when you do something wrong, you feel guilty, you feel shameful, you feel bad, and you'll feel like that until you forgive yourself. I think if there is an afterlife, you'll still hold on to that, and I think you will create your own hell. I don't really know, even theologically speaking, if hell exists, but I do think in the afterlife, if there is one, that you can create your own hell by holding on to the wrongdoings that you've done, and not forgiving yourself and not feeling like you're worth it to forgive yourself, not feeling like you're worth forgiveness, and that you just hold on to it. So I think, where's the judgment? I think you hold the judgment in yourself. And I mean, we do that even right now. That when we do something wrong, the last person we forgive is ourselves. Like we hold on to that. And so, I think that the bad things that we do in this life, I think we pay for it by just doing it. I don't think anybody, God or whatever, needs to punish us for it. I think we punish ourselves for it. Because we do. I mean, right now, we don't need an afterlife for that. We do it in this life right now. People literally create their own hells because because they feel like that's what they deserve. Thoughts on astral projection? We just had like a long Jesse, what's going on? And Alex H. What's up, man? I'm like saying I keep forgetting to say hi to all these people. Bryce, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here. Hello. Thoughts on astral projection? Yeah, we just had a long conversation about this. I've been reading these books on out of body experiences and astral projection. And I think where I have a lot of thoughts on them, but whether or not I believe it, I think I'm like 70. I was saying before, I think I'm like 75%. Like, I think this is a thing. Whether that doesn't mean I, believe in God or Christianity or whatever, but just that there is a place that, another dimension, which I mean, if you just look at science, you can tell that there's another dimension. Like time is a dimension that we cannot see, but we feel the effects of, la da 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 da. Even studying things like quantum entanglement and stuff like that. There are things that happen that we feel the effects of that we can't see. So but can our consciousness and our projection of consciousness travel to those places? If astral projection is a thing, then apparently. um so yeah, but for me to like be sold on it, I think I would need to see like a study done to where you can see the effects of somebody astral projecting. And Robert Monroe in his books has these different scientific experiments that he's done to show, astral projection, out of body experiences. They are real. They do happen. I'm just not like totally sold on it yet. So yeah, hope you're doing well. Thanks, Bryce. With outside of structured religion. Yes, I hate the word religion. Ditto, for real. It's become more of a social construct of rules rather than community and personal relationship. Yeah, and Bryce, I just like was talking about that very thing because somebody on here, I don't know if they're still watching, but talked about religion versus relationship, and I said that really, the people who actually have real relationship with God, that saying all of that is real, the people who actually have relationship with God, there's few of them, because now that religion versus relationship, like, oh, I don't serve religion, I have a relationship. It's like that's almost become like a cheesy saying and a fad, and it's kind of like a get out of jail free card. Like, it's like, oh no, I'm not who you think because I have a relationship. It's really almost like, unfortunately, become like one with the concept and idea of religion, especially with Christianity. Now, I'm not saying it's like it's wrong. I'm not saying it's not the truth, but I'm just saying that the personal relationship, unfortunately, if everything about Christianity is true and is real, then that's what Christianity should absolutely be about, a personal relationship. But I think people throw around that personal relationship like it's like, oh yeah, I have a relationship with God. It's like, I don't know. If you have a relationship with God, there's like responsibility with that. Like, that's a pretty heavy weight to carry. Not a bad weight, but like, you got a lot of power with that. And a lot of people who claim to have a relationship with God don't carry that weight. They just say, "Oh yeah, I have a relationship with God," because that's what they're told Christianity is. Which just still fits. It's funny how in a charismatic filled spiritual church, there's still a lot of religion that happens because people say this needs to look this way, and especially like Christianity. Christians get told your relationship with God needs to look this way, and it's like, obviously that's not the case. And I know you probably agree with everything that I'm saying, but just speaking my mind, taking up time. So, religion is organized spirituality. I don't think that. Kanye West calls it mental breakdown. You came out of it. Yeah. Fear is the force that pulls your strings. Yeah. Do you believe in heaven and hell? Um, I, if astral projection, if that all those realms are real, then I think that heaven would exist. Hell, I think we created. I don't think I believe in hell. Theologically speaking, I don't even think that the Bible really, like the way the traditional view of hell, I don't think that exists at all. If there is no judgment in the end, how do we feel guilt? Why would there need to be judgment in the end for us to feel guilt? Like, if have you ever felt guilty? I would assume yes. Is that the end? I don't think so. If I believe most people are driven by greed to be at the top, so if we can benefit from no judgment, why do we have guilt? If I believe most people are driven by greed to be at the top, so if we can benefit from no judgment, why do we have guilt? I'm not sure I understand your question, and my brain might be dying away right now. Yeah, I'm not religious, but I think everyone can have their beliefs, and my spirit is pretty wild, if you ask me. Well, good, cool. I like wild. Lucifer on Netflix, fantastic. A few days ago, because you said something about it, and I'm already like halfway caught up. Dude, I love that show so much. Holy mackerel. I think it's an incredibly unfortunate disservice that Christians do to themselves and then share when it comes to not actively seeking truth. Also, what books do you recommend? All Robert Monroe's books on out of body experiences. Journeys out of the body. Start with that one. Thanks for the insightful response, man. Sorry for my long last message, but there was a lot in that comment, and I just had to talk about it with the title being Religion versus Spirituality. Yeah, totally, man. I love those comments. Love having these discussions. Why are spirituality and religion separate? If one of them, most likely spiritual, is put first, wouldn't the other one be more pure and detrimental? Religion pure? No. Spirituality, I think, is more pure. Religion is detrimental, for sure. Later, Neon. I missed it. I want to try it, but they say it's bad, or other spirits or demons can enter your body instead. That's all fear stuff. Yes, and have you had sleep paralysis? I don't. Well, okay. Everybody in the entire world, unless you have a sleep disorder, has sleep paralysis every single night. It's just that when you practice astral projection, you willingly go into a state where instead of you being asleep when you enter sleep paralysis, because if you didn't enter sleep paralysis, you would be acting out your dreams. So sleep paralysis is a healthy, natural thing that your body does so that you don't act out your dreams. All you do basically is stay awake when you go into that state of sleep paralysis. So it's not like wrong. Sleep paralysis is not bad. It's actually healthy. How do you feel about cosmology or numerology in regards to spirituality? Cosmology, being the creating of the universe. I don't know how the universe was created. You know, uh, I do believe in evolution, but whether it was God or the Big Bang, both are just theories. So I don't know. Numerology in regards to spirituality, I don't know. You know, like I see weird like numbers line up all the time. I really try not to think too much about them, because I'm like, that could mean something, could not. I don't know. But I really to get wrapped up in like little things like that, I think it can really trip people up from the actual truth because instead of looking for truth, you're just looking for these numbers to line up all the time, and it's like I don't know. I think numerology is cool. Synchronicity, that sort of thing is cool. If you're into it, but I don't think you should make it like you're only going to hear truth from that because I think that's a dangerous place to go. I love how this channel. I love on this channel we all have different views and religions, but we never get hostile or toxic and are all peaceful here. Thanks you guys in the chat for being so professional and not bashing. Amen. That's what this chat, that's what this channel, that's what this place is all about. That means honestly, that means the world that you said that and that we're here and having these conversations and talking. I love it. So true. My pizza is here. Well, you are a lucky son of a gun. Is paganism as valid as Christianity? Why not? I guess I should ask, what do you mean by valid? What do you think of transhumanism? Should we merge with robots? No. I mean, I don't think we should merge our mind, but like an arm or a leg, that'd be cool. A heart and lungs, and I don't know, it'd be cool to have cyborgs walking around. But once you take your consciousness away, I think you're taking you away. But that gets into the philosophy of personhood. What makes a person a person? Is a very interesting philosophical subject. Spirituality is an abstract word, doesn't mean anything. Far from spiritus. Wow. You think that? Is there a story behind the ring on your left hand? Nope. Just that I like it. I've always been like, weirdly, I've always been a jewelry kind of guy. Like I like rings, I like necklaces. I don't have a necklace on, but I used to wear necklaces all the time. And so, it's just, I don't know, I've always been intrigued and interested in it. And when I find something I like, I usually always wear it. So I found this. It was like $10, and I was like, I dig it. And my buddy who just got married actually saw this ring, and he was like, I want my wedding ring to look like that. So as he was making his wedding ring, he literally got it to look exactly like this with the date that he got married on it. I was like, that's dope. Um, Sleep paralysis when you're awake is absolutely terrifying. I had a being show up in my room, dorm. One time it went bad. Yeah, but when you're in sleep paralysis, you can also hallucinate too. So, and this is totally off subject, but I'm curious what your fondest memory with your father is. Hmm. Oh man, there's actually a lot. Um, so that's a hard question because it depends on what season, what we're doing. Fun memory, bad memory. Well, I'm not going to talk about the bad memories, but deep and insightful memories. I mean, yeah. Do you believe we're living in a simulated reality? I mean, it's a possibility, but I have no idea. Do you consistently have talks about these subjects with your dad inspired by Jess' question? I'm not lying when I say this. Literally, I have talks like this with my mom and dad all the time. All the time. It's like this is the weird tick that my family has. Like I know every family has their like weird thing. My family, we just talk about deep topics, deep subjects all the time. That's like what's shaped what's really shaped me is like all the surface topics aren't really talked about. We just go like just dive deep into things. So, yeah, all the time. I'm going out on a limb here, but I would assume conversations with dad are limited, but then again, I could be wrong. Limited, not actually not necessarily, not really. Um, I let them know. I let both of my parents know where I'm at and what I'm practicing, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking about, all that. Um, and we engage in conversation. I think it's great. Have you ever watched battle rap? Off topic, but it correlates. Does it correlate? I have watched it. I like it a lot. I know I can say for me personally, these topics are everything. I live, eat, sleep, breathe philosophy, mysticism, truth, skepticism, conspiracy, just anything that feels like learning. Same with me, Jess. Same with me. Um, it's good though. Deep topic talks are the best talks, and the fact that you can have them with your family is amazing. Yeah, I do realize that is a plus. That is a plus. I've heard you were really deep into following church stuff in the past. Um, were your parents the ones that made you follow that? Yes. If not, what was it? No, it was my parents. My parents are pastors. I'm a pastor's kid, so grew up going to church. You won't have destined traits. I don't believe anything. Being predetermined in life, I believe everything is an accident. What are your thoughts on astrology and predetermined things? I think I recall you being a firm believer in free will. Yeah, astrology, I think there's some science to it. Um, because of our bodies being made up of mostly water and how affected, the water, the moon and the tides and all that stuff, like, it affects the earth. It affects us. Why wouldn't it affect us if it affects the earth? Um, so I do think there's some legitimacy to it. Um, Astrology, predetermined things. Yeah, I'm a compatibilist, so I do think the things of science are completely determined. But the reason I'm not a determinist is because of the power that we have over our own mind, and we have more power than we think through neuroplasticity, through reprogramming our neurotransmitters, our neural pathways to think differently and therefore act differently and therefore believe differently. And so I think if everything was determined, I think that man, um, I think that if everything was determined, then we would not be at the conscious level that we are right now. Um, I think that we would be primates. We would be right next to animals. We would not be on the top of the food chain. But I think it's because of how our consciousness has evolved into us being more existential than the reality that we're in. That's why I firmly believe in free will, and there's tons of neuroscience to back up free will. Neuroscience, especially, and looking somewhat at consciousness and stuff like that. Absolutely, but I do think the things of science are determined, but I think that uh, we have free will. So that's compatibilism. Yeah, no, yeah, because only. Hey Nate, Jess and Sloshy are my best friends now, bro. Yeah, they're pretty cool people. They're all right, honest, and I say judged a Christian and I was wrong. So they made you follow all the church rules and now are open to deeply talk to you and now are open to deeply talk with you. Yes. That's what kind of messes with my mind. Well, I do love my parents. They're pretty amazing. And it's especially amazing because they let me be where I'm at. They don't like it, but they let me be there. Um, yeah. They're like, yeah, we want you to believe for you. And they're convinced that one day I will. I don't know if that'll happen. Um, but yeah, they're pretty cool. First time to join your live stream. Conversation since awesome, but I'm gonna leave now. Peace. All right, man. Gandhi. Peace out, man. Glad you got here. Hope to see you here next time. If smartness requires a creator, then how smart is God that he also requires a creator? Where, if God is real, why would he why require a creator? She already told the joke. She already told the joke. God comes from nothing just like all of us. He is just first. I'm really sorry I'm not talking. My room is a huge mess. Dude, it's all good. No worries. By shaped, I mean what Genesis says about us and spoken. Just something I saw. Dust is dead. Dust is dead and what? Your parents are true inspirations because whether or not God is real, whether or not Jesus is real, they are walking talking examples of Christ and the concept of Christ. And for anyone to be lucky enough to have not just one parent love them, but both, man, I'm just happy that made me who I am, but also allowed me to have freedom to be who I am and to be who I want to be. So they're great. And I don't say that lightly. I'm just saying that now because I'm not feeling too great, and I'm probably gonna give it like 5 more minutes, then I'm gonna get off. God is an English word, and humans created vocabulary. Thus, humans created God. That's like a terrible argument for God not being real. That's like you could use that argument literally about anything. Jess, that's funny. You're welcome. Maybe not dust, but that's not what matters. Do you ever think about how so many others have been kicked out and ostracized for coming out to parents for not being religious, and how your parents don't agree but still love and accept you and your journey? Yeah, and I am very thankful and very lucky, and I really don't take it for granted at all. I still live at home, which is super hard and actually kind of sucks. But for where I'm at, I'm super grateful and super thankful for my parents. They're super dope for real though. Backwards Panda, what's going on? Hey bro, just thought I would swing by and chat quick. Missed most of it, but hope all is well. Glad you're still doing this every week, helping people out. You're awesome, man. Dude, thanks for that. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that, Backwards Panda. Stay humble. Pedro, yes, I agree. I heard the frequency of epigenetic switch changes in human versus other species in the same amount of time, i.e., millions of years, proves something edited in our DNA. What? In the same amount of time, millions of years proves something edited in our DNA. Interesting. Eric, what's going on? Did you just join? I'm literally about to head off. Jealous. I'm totally binge watching Lucifer after the stream. Dude, I'm releasing my podcast in like a couple weeks. And you'll have like 5 episodes to listen to. And in one of the episodes I talk about is the concept of pure evil, is it even real? And in that episode I talk about Lucifer and kind of review it in a way, but really just talk about the show, and the Joker. And I review both of those, the Joker and Lucifer, and like their take on pure evil, and then talk about if it's real or not. So look forward to that because that was fun. There can only be one Eric. Hey man, have that conversation with Eric. What was your favorite joke from favorite quote from Joker? Man, I'd have to watch the movie again. Oh, probably the last scene when he says, just simply, you wouldn't get it. That was probably my favorite quote. You wouldn't get it. The whole thing. Read the Lucifer comics, not the show. The show is just a cop show in disguise. Yeah, I know. I still enjoyed it though. I came late, but so happy I made the live stream. You made my day. Love this topic about religion versus spirituality. I was able to talk about me being a materialist and atheist. Great convo. You're the real MVP, man. Hey, dude, I appreciate that so much. Really, really do. That, honestly, man, that comment means the world to me, more than you know. And Eric is gonna be like, "Hey, man, talk to my." Yep, it's true. I've just got done watching American Horror Story. Well, that's fun. Kindly learning from each other rather than trying to be right or wrong. Exactly. This is what the world needs, man. Just hearing everybody out and really searching for truth, like inviting everybody along on your journey and searching for what's true. I love any show that insults Christians. That's a little ignorant and a bit arrogant, but touche. I love the atheistic experience. I think it's fantastic. Um, is it worth going and seeing? I haven't seen Joker yet. Absolutely worth going and seeing. I still think Dark Knight Joker was better role than the character. I don't think you can compare the two. Everyone is a materialist. Uh, else, why does everyone wear clothes? Yo, your arguments are whack, dude. I appreciate you being here, but the worst part about having mental illness is people expect you to act like you don't. Oh my God, that is so true. That is so true. I really like this quote. Yeah, when he was writing stand up. Yeah. Oh man, maybe the quote. Um, I hope when he says, "I hope my death will mean more than my life, will have more meaning than my life." I like that too. Man, I can't wait to hear you get into the mind of the Joker and that film on your podcast. I'm stoked. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, that is a good quote, Simba. I like it. Do you get a lot of Christians on your channel? I do, but not a lot of them are nice. Not a lot of them are respectful. I'm a Christian guy, but I'm understandable to the skepticism. Well, I appreciate that. Kevlar, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin Kevlar. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you on the live chat. Um, appreciate you watching my content, man. Seriously. Calm down. All right, y'all. I'm going to I know it's only like 10 minutes away, but not feeling too well. So I'm going to cut it short, unfortunately. But guys, thank you so much for joining in. I really enjoyed this conversation. We stayed on topic the entire time, which is super awesome. Really hope to see all of you guys here next week. Just know that there will be more live sessions multiple times a week in the future. So yeah, keep watching, keep commenting, make sure you're sharing the comment. Please hit that like button. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. You all mean the world to me. This community means the world to me, and I'm so happy that this is a place where people can come and share ideas and search for truth and not talk about what's right or wrong and just discuss where we're at and our beliefs without shoving anything down anybody's throats. So appreciate you guys, and yeah, hope to see you guys next week. So I'll see you misfits in the next one. Peace out.